So we have with us here columnist for the New York Times, Bob Herbert. Bob has had a busy couple of days since writing just one of those op-eds that people will be talking about throughout this campaign. Let's, Mika, why don't you read a little bit of it?
Okay, well, first of all, a little context. Running While Black by Bob Herbert. This is Saturday's paper, and you talk about that celebrity ad with Paris Hilton and Britney Spears. Okay. The two highly sexualized women, both notorious for displaying themselves to the paparazzi while not wearing underwear, are shown briefly and incongruously at the beginning of a commercial critical of Mr. Obama. The Republican National Committee targeted Harold Ford with a similarly disgusting ad back in 2006 when Mr. Ford, then a congressman, was running a strong race for a U.S. Senate seat in Tennessee. The ad, which the committee described as a parody, showed a scantily clad woman whispering, "Harold, call me." Both ads were foul, poisonous, and emanated from the upper reaches of the Republican Party. What a surprise. Both were designed to exploit the hostility, anxiety, and resentment of the many white Americans who are still freakishly hung up on the idea of black men rising above their station and becoming sexually involved with white women.
Wow.
Okay.
Bob, I did not see it. I thought...
You didn't see it. Now, you guys have seen the ad a number of times, I am sure, and I know you have it here in-house. First thing you see are a couple of images of Britney Spears and Paris Hilton, right? And we see an image of Barack Obama right after that. Comes quickly at the beginning of the ad. You remember that, right?
Right.
Do you remember any other startling images right there at the beginning? All right. There is an image right there in that very beginning of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and there is an image of the Washington Monument. Look at the beginning of that ad again, and you tell me why those two phallic symbols are placed there, pow, right at the very beginning of that ad. You tell me.
Let me just... Okay, there's... And there.
Yeah.
You didn't see him?
Wait.
No.
Excuse me?
No, that's victory column. Isn't that the victory column where you made another one?
And also the, well, it looked like the Leaning Tower, but it's definitely a phallic system, and then the go right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And the Washington Monument. So you explain to me why there are two phallic symbols immediately in those first few seconds of that ad. And I put it in the context of the ad that was run against Harold Ford in 2006. And you explain to me why you have these scantily clad women, or women known to be scantily clad, women who have trouble keeping their clothes on, only in ads where the candidate is a black male, where the person being attacked is a black male. Why is that? Coincidence? Do we have it against, John Kerry? Did we have it against Al Gore? Did we have it against Bill Clinton? Why is that? All right. That's one thing. The column was not all about that. The column was about the kind of stuff that Barack Obama has to put up with. So you have here the Washington Post ran an extraordinary front page story. Let's see if we can find that here very quickly, where they talked about the McCain camp spent 4 days saying that Barack Obama wouldn't go visit the wounded troops because he couldn't take the TV cameras with him. And they felt that this was outrageous enough to make a page-one story saying that the McCain camp had absolutely no evidence that that was true. Right. But there has not been anything like the coverage or outrage over what the McCain camp did there. And this very mild comment that Barack Obama made about not looking like other candidates who have run for president. And then the very first ad of the McCain general campaign, the first television ad, was an announcer saying that John McCain was the American president that the American people have been waiting for. Excuse me, what country do we think that they were running for president for? I think most of us understood that this was an American presidential election. So what was the subtext of that comment? And the suggestion, my contention is that the subtext is that Barack Obama is the other. And you just have this whole thing playing out in in the context of a Republican Party that has used and exploited the race issue for political gain for decades.
Again,
now.
let me read
decades.
that. This is your line about the Republican Party in this column. You say that they have, quote, viciously exploited a race for decades. Are you suggesting the Republican Party is an inherently racist party?
No, I mean, I don't want my words taken out of context. I mean, you write these paragraphs and you spend a lot of time trying to get down exactly what you mean. What I'm saying is that the Republican Party, and I think that this is widely known, that the Republican Party has exploited the race issue going all the way back to at least to the 1960s, to the Nixon campaign, where he made an open appeal to George Wallace voters and kicked the Southern strategy into high gear. And, you know, I heard people commenting and saying, you know, well, this stuff is not helpful to Barack Obama, and I completely agree. I mentioned in here the longer we're talking about race, each day that we talk about race is a good day for John McCain. It's not a good day for Barack Obama. But my job is not to get Barack Obama elected. My job is to comment on what I see going on in this campaign.
Well,